Janice and David had been married for 9 years. As they came to my office and shared their story, they both used the same phrase when they talked about each other. You used to be such a good husband, and you used to be such a good wife. And it struck me. Used to be? What happened? So I looked at David and I asked him, what was different for you when you were such a good husband? So he stared at me blankly and he gave the question some thought. And his answer spoke volumes. He said, I used to ask myself almost every day how I can be a better husband to Janice. I guess I haven't asked myself that question in a very long time. There was a time in their marriage when being a good husband and being a good wife were priorities. Janice, well, she answered my what happened question almost the same way as David did. So I don't think David and Janice are in this boat alone. If most of us were really honest with ourselves, I think we would say something similar. How many couples hit the ground running? We're trying to do everything we can to be the best husband and the very best wife possible. I think most couples could say they start off this way, and then it seems most of us run into a wall. Some hit the wall pretty soon after marriage, while others, well, the hit comes down the line. Most of us will at one time or another during our marriage hit that wall. The real problem is not hitting the wall, it's what we do afterwards. David and Janice never got back on track. They quit asking the question. Their marriage, which started out so well, drifted into a so-so relationship. They never actually fought, but there was a big void that wasn't filled. Asking yourself every day how you can be a better spouse is a terrific place to start. Asking yourself that question daily and also asking God to help you be a better spouse, it takes it to a whole new level. It will change your marriage. So you know what drives me crazy, both in myself and other people? We find something that works and it really makes a difference, and then we quit doing it. When David and Janice quit asking themselves the question, it wasn't because they had a crisis in their marriage. Instead, it was this. One day, David didn't ask himself the question. And that day, the marriage, it was still good. Then the next day, he forgot to ask. And slowly, the days began to add up. Day after day, without asking the question. That's what usually happens when we get into this pattern. We're not aware of the change in our marriage. We slip apart ever so slowly. We tell ourselves that we've got it figured out. Our marriage has arrived. And so we can slow down. So for a period of time, we end up just like David and Janice, or Kim and Nancy, or thousands of other couples. We start out with great intentions of doing the right things and asking the right question, but we stop when things are good because we think we can coast the rest of our marriage. You know what Nancy and I learned? We can't coast. Coasting and marriage just don't go together. The time we need for working out what it is to be a good husband or a good wife can get filled quickly with something else. And that something else is usually, or not always, something bad. It becomes bad because it takes priority over our spouse. My life and my marriage are better when I ask myself how I can be a good husband and then ask God for his help. God answers that prayer. I get to watch him. He shows up. He lets me know he cares about me. He cares about my marriage. You know, there are days that I pray that prayer in the morning, and instead of being purposeful about following through with it, I let life get in the way. But you know what God does? He remembers. He remembers for me. Sometimes in the day I'll get a prompt that I know without a doubt is from him giving me a good husband idea. It may be to send Nancy a Bitmoji text because she loves them, or to do the dishes after dinner to give Nancy a break. Or since Nancy's love language is quality time, it may be setting aside extra time to be with her. God is always faithful to answer that prayer. Doesn't that make sense? He wants you to have an awesome marriage. He wants to answer your prayers that are for your good. Of course he's going to show up. So when was the last time you asked yourself how you could be a better spouse? Whether it was yesterday or long ago, so long ago that you can't remember, why not begin that routine, that habit today? While you're at it, why not ask for God's help? give our amazing God a chance today to shower you with His incredible love.